Okay, great. Everyone set? All right, here it comes.
I am Darren Korb. I am the audio director for Supergiant Games, and I've composed all of the tunes that we are recording here at Abbey Road.
I see the lights dance on the bay.
I'm Austin Wintory, and I have the great pleasure of being a sort of Swiss Army knife in this project, helping Darren with producing the album and putting together the arrangements and conducting the recording sessions.
I'm Ashley Barrett, and I have been a vocalist at Supergiant Games since the beginning. So I think around 2009, 2010, first started working with Darren on Bastion.
So when this whole project started, the idea of the 10th anniversary show and doing orchestral arrangements of the pieces, I thought of Austin immediately because I'm friends with Austin and don't know how to do any of that stuff myself. And know that's kind of the world that he lives in. So I reached out to him, and he sort of got the ball rolling with helping me figure everything out with the orchestral performance, and that sort of snowballed into what we're doing here at Abbey Road.
Yeah, we've worked together on all these games over the years, and in the games, yeah, I've written songs for each project and over the years that I've done. So, and these are just the songs. We're doing one, I think, instrumental piece today, but yeah, pretty much everything is a song with vocals, and we're going to try to get those vocals sort of along with everything else today live is the plan.
Yeah, so the idea is that we'll try to play through everything almost as if it was a live set. So we'll punch in and out as needed, and everything is to click, but it's essentially a performance, and so we will behave accordingly. Let's take Paper Boats from the top. 4 into bar 1.
Full set? Here it comes.
Honestly, this was just such a privilege because these songs, they're like opera. They're so dramatic and they tell such incredible stories. I love that. They don't just kind of lay down a bunch of random words, but they actually really tell you something meaningful. And so to be able to do that together and use the skills I've built to bring that to life even more than they already do it was so much fun and a privilege, genuinely.
Push me there. It's everywhere, hanging in the air.
Yeah, so I've definitely discovered some new stuff about the pieces throughout this process. Just the orchestral arrangements themselves sort of revealed some stuff to me about some of the drama of those pieces, which is heightened by the arrangements. And so when we're doing them in here, that really is apparent.
That felt definitive to me.
That sounded amazing.
Loved that.
It was so good.
Yeah, that was great.
Today it was really fun to do Paper Boats. It was our first one, so I think that was also just like shaking the jitters off and seeing and hearing everyone for the first time and just seeing how talented these musicians are. It just really breathes new life into these songs that we've been singing for so long, and today was really special, just seeing the best of the best play in the coolest place ever.
The songs have such unique life in their original incarnations, but Darren was very open to the idea of reimagining them from the ground up. So in some cases we went very different directions in working with our amazing arranger, Brian LaGuardia, to give them a kind of new life where the DNA is the same. It's obviously the same song, but it doesn't bear an obvious resemblance to the original past, the vocal melodies and the harmonies. It's a totally different experience, and yet the essence is there. So it was amazing how easy that was, that none of them made us scratch our head and say, I don't know how this is going to work.
You know it's mine, twisted and tied.
For the second in cello, when you kind of move in a sort of a contrary motion to one another at 156, starting on the end of beat 2, bring that out as well, and then viola in turn respond at 157, beats 2, 3, and 4. All these little moving lines that kind of take flight momentarily, bring them to the forward.
When conducting a session like this, you always make a lot of changes in the moment, because once you hear it back from the musicians, you discover potential of all the more what it could be. So it's not that the musicians are stumbling into some mistake that we've made and now we're having to go around it. That can happen. So far, fingers crossed, we haven't had any of that. It's been more that they play something and you think, ooh, if we did this, it could come to life even more. And every time I turn to Darren and say, I'm going to make this change, are you okay with that? He just says, do it. And then we do it afterward. What do you think? Loved it.
In that case, while we're here, just for my own indulgence, because I like changing things at the last second, trombones at 5. Can we raise the dynamic of that just a touch as well? Like, let's just kind of announce your entrance a little less subtly.
When the stars align, the right.
It feels very awesome to sing live together versus me singing just with a track. Like, it's kind of like we're in it together, where I'm watching him and he's looking at me through the cameras, and we have a different dynamic than we usually do when we're recording, and I've heard his track in my ear, and it's it's much different.
Great. Should we look at doing some guitar then?
Yeah, great.
Wicked. All right, cool.
So In the Flame, Never to Return, and Paper Boats, I think, are the other film.
Sounds quite nice though.
Yeah, it's way nicer.
All right.
This sounds like a billion times better than my guitar. Let me take off my sweater here. My button is clinking against the thing. Like, I got a clanky button. Clanky button over here. Okay, ready to rock.
When I recorded these tunes originally, I recorded them in my closet or in a little tiny vocal booth at our office in San Francisco, and it is pretty nuts that now we are recording them again in Abbey Road Studio 2, where the Beatles sort of did their thing, and I am a big Beatles sycophant, so this is really important to me to be here, and a really insane sort of bucket list, never dreamt of anything like this happening kind of thing. I thought it was pretty crazy to sing the Bastion medley here. That was nuts for me. Just because, it's vocally it's sort of one of the easier tunes that we're doing here in terms of just, it's not as rangy, it's not as insane in that way, and it's the oldest one. And so it's the one that had the sort of largest upgrade in terms of recording technology involved from original version to this version. And just to hear that happening in this setting was pretty surreal.
Bastion is just so much fun. The medley goes so many different places, and it's kind of the one that, of all of them, it gets the most down and dirty. And I think the musicians like that. They're all very proper, especially here. Everyone's very posh. And and well trained and articulate, and then we tell them, okay, now get some grime under your fingernails and then we'll do another take, and they seem to like that. But otherwise, I really can't play favorites. They're all their own little musical universe, and it's just a blast.
Like a portamento from somewhere below. That applies to the second violin and the cello as well, if you guys. It's kind of a bluesy little, yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's more like it. Channel your American brethren as best you can on this one.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
I just cannot believe that we're here and that these arrangements took us to London in Abbey Road specifically. It's been just the best journey, and I'm so excited to share it with people.
Just thank you, Darren. Thank you, Supergiant. It's a privilege every time to be able to record here and to be able to work on something that I get to take my own tiny little fractional ownership over, just because it's music that's thoroughly Darren's, but to be a part of this, because I'm sure this album is going to be just incredibly well received, and so to have my little role in it is just, it's just an honor.
I mean, I can't even begin to express how over the moon I am to be here doing this. It's really just a thing I never dreamt in a million years that I would be doing. So I'm pleased as punch to be here.